Part I. The Whispering Void. In the deep void of space, where the tapestries of stars wove themselves into cosmic constellations, the stellar dawn glided through the inky blackness like a leviathan of old. The ship's sleek metallic hull shimmered under the distant starlight, casting long shadows that danced across its surface. The engines hummed with a low, steady rhythm, like the heartbeat of a sleeping giant. On board the stellar dawn, Captain Maren Aster stood on the bridge, surveying the vast expanse of space through the reinforced glass viewport. Her brown hair, streaked with silver, was pulled back in a tight ponytail, and her eyes were a piercing shade of green that seemed to catch the starlight and hold it captive. She was a woman who had seen much of the galaxy, its wonders and its horrors, and the lines on her face told stories of adventures and losses alike. The ship's AI, a sentient entity known as Helios, spoke with a voice that was both soothing and authoritative. "Captain Aster, we are approaching the coordinates provided by the Galactic Exploration Council. Estimated time of arrival, 3 hours." Maren nodded, her mind racing with the possibilities that lay ahead. The Council had sent them to investigate a mysterious signal emanating from a previously uncharted sector of space, dubbed the Whispering Void. By the few who had ventured close, it was a region known for swallowing ships whole, leaving no trace behind. "Maren," said Tessa, the ship's astrogator and Maren's longtime friend, as she approached the captain's side. Her auburn hair was a fiery contrast to the cool steel gray of the ship's interior. "You're not thinking of going in there, are you? The last 3 expeditions didn't come back." "We have our orders, Tessa," Maren replied, her voice steady, but filled with an undeniable curiosity. "Besides, aren't you the least bit curious about what's out there? That signal could be something we've never encountered before." "It could also be something we shouldn't encounter," Tessa retorted, her eyes narrowing as she scanned the incomprehensible star maps displayed on her terminal. "There's a reason it's called the Whispering Void, you know." As they spoke, the rest of the crew engaged in their tasks, each one a piece of the well-oiled machine that was the stellar dawn. Dr. Amir Khan, the ship's xenobiologist, was reviewing data on potential life forms that might exist in the uncharted sector. His thick-rimmed glasses perched precariously on the bridge of his nose as he muttered to himself. Meanwhile, Rafe, the ship's young engineer prodigy, was tinkering with the starboard navigation system, his fingers dancing over the controls with the finesse of a concert pianist. 3 hours stretched into an eternity, the anticipation palpable as they neared their destination. Finally, the ship's sensors began to pick up faint readings from the Whispering Void. It was a low, pulsating hum that resonated through the ship's hull, a sound that seemed to come from the very fabric of space itself. "Helios, can you analyze that signal?" Maren asked, her eyes fixed on the data streaming in. "Analyzing now," Helios responded, his voice losing some of its usual confidence. "The signal is unlike anything in my database. It appears to be a series of complex algorithms, interwoven with what could be a language or a code." "A language?" Amir chimed in, his interest piqued. "But whose language?" Before Helios could respond, the ship shuddered violently, as if struck by an unseen force. Alarms blared and the lights flickered ominously. "Report," Maren barked, gripping the edge of her console for support. "We're caught in some kind of gravitational anomaly," Tessa called out, her fingers flying over the controls. "It's pulling us in." "Can we break free?" Maren demanded, her heart pounding. "I'm trying," Rafe yelled from his station, sweat beading his brow. "The engines are maxed out, but it's like being caught in an undertow." As they struggled against the invisible pull, the ship was suddenly enveloped in a blinding light. and time seemed to stretch and bend. For a moment, reality itself felt like it was unraveling. Then, just as quickly as it had begun, the light vanished and the ship was free-floating once more. The crew, shaken but unharmed, exchanged bewildered glances. "What just happened?" Tessa whispered, her voice barely audible over the sound of her own racing heart. We've been transported," Helios said, his voice tinged with awe, "to a different part of the galaxy." The crew stared at the main viewport, where a breathtaking sight awaited them. A massive, ringed planet hung in space, its surface swirling with vibrant hues of blue and green. Orbiting the planet were several small moons, and what appeared to be a colossal artificial structure. Its design unlike anything made by human hands. "It's beautiful," Amir breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. "But how?" "That signal," Maren said, her mind racing. "It must have been some kind of transport beacon." "But why?" Tessa asked, her tone skeptical. "And for what purpose?" "We're about to find out," Maren replied, determination in her voice. "Helios, scan that structure. Let's see what we're dealing with." As Helios began to gather data, the crew prepared themselves for whatever lay ahead. The whispering void had sent them on a new trajectory, one filled with mystery and danger. And as the stellar dawn moved closer to the enigmatic structure, Captain Maren Aster could feel the tendrils of destiny wrapping around them all, drawing them inexorably towards the unknown. Part 2. The Enigma of Axios. As the stellar dawn drifted closer to the enormous structure orbiting the ringed planet, the crew braced for whatever enigmas awaited them. The edifice loomed in the viewport, a constellation of interlocking geometric shapes, their surfaces shimmering with iridescent hues that defied description. "Helios, what's the analysis?" Maren asked, her voice cutting through the silence that had settled over the bridge. "The structure is at least several millennia old," Helios replied. "Its material composition is unlike anything catalogued. I'm detecting faint power signatures, possibly operational systems still active." "Any signs of life?" Amir's curiosity was palpable as he leaned forward, his eyes reflecting the glow of his terminal. "Negative. No biological signatures detected," Helios confirmed. "However, the environment appears to be artificially maintained, suggesting potential habitation at some point." Rafe was already at work, interfacing with the Stellar Dawn systems to prepare for docking. "I might be able to latch onto one of the docking ports," he said, his fingers moving swiftly, "but it'll be tricky. This place wasn't made with our technology in mind." Maren nodded, her mind made up. "Let's go in for a closer look. Whatever this is, it could hold the answers to that signal and why we were brought here." As the crew prepared the ship for docking, the tension on the bridge was tangible. The Stellar Dawn inched closer to the structure, finally aligning with one of the larger docking ports. Rafe's deft maneuvering allowed them to attach with a soft thud that resonated through the ship. Once the airlock sequence was complete, Maren, Tessa, Amir, and Rafe donned their environment suits and gathered at the threshold. Maren took a deep breath, her hand poised over the control to open the airlock. "Ready?" she asked, looking at each of them in turn. Tessa nodded, her expression a mix of anticipation and trepidation. Amir's face was alight with scientific curiosity, while Rafe's grin was wide with the thrill of discovery. The airlock door slid open, revealing a long corridor bathed in a soft, ambient light. The architecture was alien, but strangely harmonious, the walls adorned with intricate carvings that seemed to tell a story long forgotten. "Remember, stay together," Maren instructed as they stepped inside, their boots making soft thuds on the metallic floor. As they explored, The crew marveled at the beauty and intricacy of the structure. It was a place out of time, a testament to a civilization whose capabilities far exceeded their own. "I wonder who built this place," Amir mused aloud, running his gloved fingers over the carvings. "And why did they leave?" "Maybe they didn't leave," Tessa suggested, her voice echoing in the hallway. "Maybe something happened to them." They continued down the corridor, their path eventually leading them to a large chamber at the heart of the structure. In the center of the room stood a towering obelisk, its surface covered in the same enigmatic script that adorned the walls. As they approached, the obelisk began to emit a gentle hum, and holographic images flickered to life around them, depicting scenes of the builders and their lives. "Helios, can you translate this?" Maren asked, awestruck by the ethereal display. "I'll attempt a translation," Helios replied, interfacing wirelessly with the ship's systems. The language appears to be a complex variant of quantum encoding, a sophisticated means of data storage and transmission. As the AI worked, the holograms shifted, showing the builders engaged in various activities, constructing their cities, exploring the stars, and ultimately facing a cataclysm. "Look at this," Amir pointed, directing their attention to a series of images showing the inhabitants gathering and activating the obelisk. "It looks like they were using it for something, or escaping something," Tessa added, her voice tinged with unease. "Helios, anything?" Maren urged, feeling the weight of the mystery pressing upon them. "I've managed to decipher portions," Helios announced. "This structure served as a refuge, a gateway between worlds. Its builders were fleeing an impending doom, and this obelisk was meant to transport them to safety. But where?" Rafe wondered aloud, gazing at the swirling holograms. Before Helios could respond, a low, rumbling sound echoed through the chamber. The floor trembled beneath their feet, and the obelisk's light intensified, casting long shadows across the walls. "What's happening?" Amir shouted over the growing din. "Something's activating," Rafe exclaimed, backing away from the obelisk. The structure began to pulse with energy, and Maren realized with a start that they had inadvertently triggered the obelisk's power. The chamber was filled with a brilliant light, enveloping them in a cocoon of luminescence. In an instant, the crew felt a sensation of weightlessness, as if they were being pulled through the fabric of space itself. Time seemed to stretch and compress, reality distorting around them, until they found themselves standing in a new chamber, similar yet different. The alien carvings replaced by a different script, the architecture subtly altered. "Where are we?" Tessa asked, her voice laced with awe and confusion. "I believe we've been transported again," Helios provided, his voice radiating a calm authority, "to another refuge." The crew stood in silence, grappling with the enormity of their situation. They were travelers in a vast network of sanctuaries, scattered across the galaxy like celestial breadcrumbs, leading to an ultimate destination. "What now?" Amir asked, breaking the silence. "We explore," Maren said, her resolve firm. "We uncover the secrets of this place, and maybe find a way back." As they ventured deeper into the structure, a new sense of purpose filled the air. The mysteries of the whispering void were unraveling, and the crew of the Stellar Dawn stood on the cusp of discoveries that could redefine their understanding of the universe. Part 3. The Celestial Monolith. The corridors of the new refuge echoed with the soft thrum of ancient technology, resonating like a distant heartbeat. The air was crisp and tinged with a strange fragrance, reminiscent of an alien wilderness. Maren and her crew ventured deeper into the complex, their senses heightened by the unknowns awaiting them. As they moved, Maren couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. It was an instinct, born from years of spacefaring experience, a whisper at the back of her mind that urged caution. The chamber they entered was vast, its ceiling disappearing into shadows. In the center stood a monolithic structure, its surface etched with an intricate network of lines that glowed softly with azure light. The patterns shifted and morphed, as if alive. "What is this place?" Tessa breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's magnificent," Amir said, his voice filled with awe. "A testament to the ingenuity of a lost civilization." Rafe moved closer to the monolith. His curiosity piqued. "Looks like some kind of control center. Maybe we can find answers here." As he approached, the lines on the monolith flared with light, reacting to his presence. The chamber filled with a resonant hum, and a holographic interface materialized in the air before them. "Helios, can you interact with this?" Maren asked, watching the shifting symbols with a mix of trepidation and excitement. "I will attempt to interface," Helios responded, his voice emanating from their suit communicators. "This system appears to be a nexus, an access point to the network of refuges." As Helios worked, the holographic display shifted, revealing a map of interconnected nodes, each one a refuge like the one they stood in, scattered across the galaxy. It was a web of safe havens, designed to preserve the legacy of a civilization facing annihilation. "This is incredible," Amir said, studying the map with wide eyes. "A network of worlds, each one a refuge." "But what were they running from?" Tessa asked, her gaze lingering on the map. Before they could ponder further, the monolith's light intensified, and a burst of energy surged through the chamber. The holographic map zoomed in on a specific node, highlighting /Part 3 continued. The Guardians of Aetheria. The highlighted node on the holographic map pulsed with a gentle rhythm, its glow casting a mesmerizing array of colors across the chamber. The crew stood transfixed, each understanding that this node held significance, a key to unlocking the secrets they sought. "This node," Maren said, breaking the silence. "It's calling to us. Maybe it's the origin of the signal we first received." "Or the heart of this entire network," Rafe suggested, still captivated by the vibrant display. "We need to investigate," Maren decided, feeling an unspoken pull towards the glowing node. "Helios, can you plot a course to this location?" "I'm interfacing with the navigational systems," Helios replied. "The coordinates correspond to a star system at the core of the network. It is designated as Aetheria." With new purpose, the crew retraced their steps, making their way back to the stellar dawn. The journey through the corridors felt different now, filled with a sense of impending revelation. They reached the airlock, and as they boarded the ship, each member of the crew harbored thoughts of what Aetheria might reveal. Once on board, Maren and Tessa worked swiftly to disconnect the docking ports and prepare for departure. The stellar dawn disengaged from the ancient structure, drifting back into the void of space. "Course plotted for Aetheria," Tessa confirmed, her fingers dancing over the controls. "Engage," Maren instructed, and the ship's engines roared to life, propelling them towards their new destination. As the ship sped through the starlit expanse, the crew gathered in the common area, sharing thoughts and speculations about Aetheria. Amir, his mind a whirl of questions, pondered the possible connections between the ancient civilization and their own. "What if Aetheria is more than just a refuge?" he mused aloud. "What if it holds the key to their entire history?" "It's possible," Maren replied, her voice thoughtful. "Whatever it is, it's worth exploring. This could redefine everything we know about the galaxy." Their conversation continued, each member of the crew offering hypotheses and insights. Time flowed, marked only by the hum of the ship's engines and the gentle passage of stars outside the viewport. Eventually, the stellar dawn exited hyperspace, emerging on the outskirts of the Aetheria system. The sight that greeted them was breathtaking, a vibrant, habitable planet surrounded by a ring of shimmering satellites, each one pulsing with energy. But it was not the planet itself that drew their attention. Orbiting Etheria was a colossal station. Its structure, grand and imposing, yet exhibiting the same intricate beauty as the refuges they had encountered. "Helios, scan the station," Maren ordered, her eyes fixed on the awe-inspiring sight before them. "Scanning now," Helios responded. "The station is powered by an energy source of immense capacity. I'm detecting life forms within, but their signatures are unlike any we've recorded." "Life forms?" Amir's eyes brightened with excitement. This could be the breakthrough we've been hoping for. As the stellar dawn approached the station, a transmission crackled through their communicators. The voice, melodic and soothing, was unlike any they had heard before. "Welcome, travelers. You have journeyed far to reach Etheria. We are the guardians, caretakers of this sanctuary." Maren exchanged a look with Tessa, her curiosity piqued. "Guardians, we are explorers, seeking to understand the history and purpose of this network. We come in peace." "We know of your journey," the voice replied. "You have been guided here, as others have before you. Etheria is a place of knowledge and preservation. We invite you to dock and join us in the Hall of Echoes." The invitation was both intriguing and daunting. Maren nodded, her decision made. "Rafe, bring us in." The stellar dawn glided towards the docking bay, its path guided by invisible tethers of light. As they docked, the crew readied themselves, eager to meet the enigmatic guardians and uncover the mysteries of Etheria. Once inside the station, Maren, Tessa, Amir, and Rafe disembarked, stepping into a world that defied expectation. The air was filled with a gentle hum of life, the architecture a blend of nature and technology. Lush greenery entwined with crystalline structures, creating an environment both serene and vibrant. The guardians awaited them in the Hall of Echoes, their forms ethereal and graceful. They were beings of energy and light, their presence evoking a sense of calm and wisdom. "Welcome," the lead guardian spoke, their voice a harmonious blend of tones. "You are among friends here." "What is this place?" Maren asked, her voice filled with wonder. "What is Etheria's purpose?" "Etheria is the heart of the network," the guardian replied. "Here, the knowledge of the ancients is preserved, awaiting those who seek it. We, the guardians, are its keepers, ensuring the legacy endures." With a gesture, the guardian activated a series of holographic displays, each one depicting scenes from the past, the rise and fall of civilizations, the creation of the refuges, and the inevitable threat that loomed over them all. The ancients faced a cataclysm beyond their power, the guardian continued, their tone solemn. They established the network to safeguard their knowledge, their culture, and their hope. "And the signal that brought us here?" Tessa inquired, her curiosity unwavering. "The signal was both a beacon and a test," the guardian explained. "A way to guide those who are worthy, those who can continue the legacy." As the crew absorbed the magnitude of the revelation, Maren felt a deep sense of interconnectedness, a realization that their journey was part of something far greater than themselves. "What happens now?" Rafe asked, his voice filled with anticipation. "Now you learn," the guardian replied, a gentle smile in their tone. "Etheria's archives are open to you, to explore and understand, and perhaps to find your place within this vast tapestry." The crew of the Stellar Dawn had entered a world of wonder and discovery, where ancient knowledge and future potential converged. As they delved deeper into the archives of Etheria, each step brought them closer to unlocking not only the secrets of the past, but their own destiny among the stars. At Part 4, The Echoes of Eternity, Exploring the vibrant corridors of Etheria was like walking through a living tapestry of history and innovation. Each chamber they entered was a portal to a different era, filled with holographic displays of long-lost worlds and the ancients who had inhabited them. The air around them crackled with the whispers of the past, offering glimpses into the culture and achievements of a civilization that had once spanned the stars. The crew of the Stellar Dawn wandered through the Hall of Echoes, where the guardians led them to a central chamber bathed in a warm, golden light. The room was vast, its dome ceiling adorned with constellations that shifted in patterns mimicking the celestial dance of the galaxy. In the center of the chamber was a large, circular platform surrounded by floating orbs of light. As the crew stepped onto the platform, the lights coalesced into a single entity, a projection of a wizened figure, their features both familiar and alien, a blend of humanity and the unknown. "Welcome, seekers of knowledge," the projection intoned, their voice resonant and wise. "I am Alicia, the last archivist of the ancients, preserved within the fabric of Etheria." Maren felt a thrill of awe at the presence of the archivist. "Alicia, we've come seeking the truth of your civilization and to understand the purpose of this network." The archivist nodded, their gaze penetrating yet gentle. "Our civilization was vast and diverse, spanning across countless systems. We were explorers, creators, dreamers. Yet despite our advancements, we could not escape the shadow of our own making, a consequence of our relentless expansion and exploitation of resources." Amir, captivated by the history unfolding before them, asked, "And the cataclysm, what was its nature?" "Our demise was heralded by the very forces we sought to master," Alicia explained, the sadness of ages in their voice. "A cosmic imbalance, triggered by our insatiable thirst for knowledge and power. We faced the collapse of our worlds, and so we built the refuges, embedding our essence within them." Tessa, absorbed in the narrative, said, "But the network gave your civilization a chance, a hope for renewal." "Yes," Alicia agreed, their holographic form shimmering with a tinge of hope. "The network reaches across the stars, a beacon for those who might carry forward the flame of our legacy." As the archivist spoke, the room transformed around them, the walls dissolving into a panorama of the galaxy, alive with vibrant colors. Nebulae swirled in cosmic symphonies, and stars twinkled like distant lanterns, each one a potential bridge to the future. Alicia continued, "You, travelers from a distant world, are part of this continuum. Your presence here means you are ready to inherit not just our knowledge, but the responsibility it entails." Maren, feeling the weight of their journey settling upon her shoulders, asked, "What must we do to honor this legacy?" "Learn," Alicia replied, their voice filled with a warm resolve. "Explore the archives. Understand our triumphs and failures. Share what you discover, and let it guide your own path among the stars." With that, the archivist's image began to dissipate, leaving behind a lingering glow, like the afterglow of a comet's tail. The crew stood in silence, absorbing the magnitude of their task. Rafe, his eyes alight with a newfound determination, spoke up. "We have to preserve this knowledge for future generations. Imagine what we could achieve." Amir nodded, his mind already racing with the possibilities. "Our understanding of science, of life itself, could advance exponentially. There's so much to learn." Maren, her heart swelling with both pride and responsibility, turned to her crew. "Then let's get started. We have an entire galaxy of knowledge waiting for us in Etheria." As they delved deeper into the archives, Each member of the crew found themselves drawn to different aspects of the ancient civilization's legacy. Amir immersed himself in the xenobiological records, discovering new insights into the interconnectedness of life. Tessa focused on the astral maps, tracing the pathways of the ancients and mapping out new potential routes for exploration. Rafe found fascination in the technological advancements documented by the ancients, marveling at their understanding of quantum engineering and energy manipulation. Throughout their explorations, the Guardians remained a constant presence, offering guidance and wisdom. They shared stories of those who had come before, weaving a narrative of continuity and hope that transcended the boundaries of time and space. One evening, as the crew gathered on the observation deck of the stellar dawn, the room filled with the ethereal glow of distant stars. They sat in contemplative silence, each reflecting on the journey that had brought them here. Amir broke the silence, his voice filled with wonder. "You know, in a way, we're like the ancients. Our own civilization has its share of challenges. Imagine what we can learn from their successes and failures." Tessa leaned back, her gaze fixed on the stars. "We have a chance to do better, to forge a new path, one that respects the delicate balance of our universe." Maren, feeling the warmth of camaraderie and shared purpose, spoke softly. "Together we'll carry this legacy forward. Aetheria has given us a gift, a glimpse into what's possible if we work towards a common vision." Rafe, his eyes twinkling with the starlight, added, "And maybe one day, we'll be the ones guiding others, helping them find their way through the cosmos." As they sat together, the vastness of the galaxy seemed to fold around them like a protective cloak, cradling them in its infinite embrace. They were part of something larger now, a constellation of explorers, dreamers, and custodians, linked by the echoes of eternity. With Aetheria as their guide, the crew of the Stellar Dawn knew their journey was far from over. It was merely the beginning of a new chapter, one where they would chart their own course across the stars, forever intertwined with the legacy of the ancients. And in the quiet of that peaceful night, lulled by the gentle hum of the ship and the whispering of the stars, they dreamed of what lay beyond the horizon, a future as boundless and beautiful as the universe itself. Chapter 5: The Symphony of the Spheres. As the crew of the Stellar Dawn continued their exploration of Aetheria, a serene rhythm settled into their routine. Each day brought new revelations as they immersed themselves in the archives, piecing together the tapestry of the ancient civilization's history and achievements. One morning, as the artificial sunrise bathed the station in a soft golden light, Maren and her crew gathered once again in the Hall of Echoes. Today, the Guardians had promised to reveal a hidden chamber, one that held a special significance within the sanctuary. The lead Guardian, whose presence shimmered with an ethereal glow, greeted them at the entrance. "We call this place the Symphony of the Spheres," they explained, gesturing for the crew to follow. The path led them through a series of archways, each one adorned with intricate carvings that seemed to pulse with life. As they walked, the air filled with a gentle, harmonious sound, a melody that resonated with the very essence of the universe. The chamber they entered was unlike anything they had seen before. It was a vast, dome space, its walls studded with countless crystalline spheres that hovered in midair, each one spinning in a graceful dance. The spheres emitted a spectrum of colors, their hues shifting and blending in a mesmerizing display. "This is beautiful," Tessa whispered, her voice filled with awe. "These spheres represent the planets of the ancient civilization," the Guardian explained. "Each one is infused with the essence of its world, capturing not only its unique attributes, but the harmony of its existence within the cosmic symphony." Amir stepped closer to one of the spheres, captivated by its swirling colors. It's like each planet sings its own song, contributing to a universal melody. Exactly, the Guardian replied with a nod, their voice a gentle echo in the chamber. This symphony is a reflection of the balance and interconnectedness that once existed among the stars. Rafe, entranced by the spectacle, asked, "Can we interact with them? Hear their stories?" With a serene gesture, the Guardian activated a series of controls, and a series of holographic projections emerged from the spheres. Each projection depicted a world, its landscapes and inhabitants brought to life in vivid detail. As the crew wandered among the spheres, they found themselves drawn into the stories of distant worlds, planets of vibrant jungles, crystalline cities, and stunning oceans. They marveled at the diversity of life, the ingenuity of technology, and the beauty of cultures that had once thrived under the light of distant suns. One sphere in particular caught Maren's attention. Its projection revealed a world of towering mountains and sweeping valleys. Its skies filled with iridescent creatures that glided on the wind. "This is Aryan," the Guardian explained, noting Maren's interest. "A world renowned for its harmonious integration of technology and nature. Its inhabitants were master artisans, creating wonders that danced between science and art." As Maren watched the projection, she felt a profound connection to the world of Aryan, a sense that its legacy, like that of the ancients, was a testament to the possibilities of collaboration, creativity, and balance. "We have so much to learn from these worlds," Maren said, her voice filled with determination. "Their stories are a reminder of what we can achieve when we work together, respecting the diversity of life and the harmony of the universe." As they explored the symphony, the crew discovered worlds that had faced their own challenges, some overcoming adversity through unity and innovation, others succumbing to the very forces they had sought to control. Tessa, reflecting on the lessons of the symphony, remarked, "It's humbling, isn't it, to see how even advanced civilizations were vulnerable to the same struggles we face." Amir nodded, his expression thoughtful. "It reminds us of the importance of stewardship, of our responsibility to preserve and protect not only our knowledge, but the delicate balance of our world." As the day drew to a close, the crew returned to the observation deck of the stellar dawn. They sat in quiet contemplation, the memory of the symphony echoing in their minds. Rafe, breaking the silence, said, "We've been given an incredible gift, one that we must share with others. Imagine the impact of these stories. This knowledge on our own civilization." Maren, her heart full of gratitude for the journey they had undertaken, nodded. "And we will. Etheria's legacy will be a guiding light, showing us the way forward. Together, we'll ensure that the harmony of the cosmos is preserved for generations to come." As they gazed at the stars, the crew of the stellar dawn felt a renewed sense of purpose, an understanding that they were not merely explorers of the past, but custodians of the future. They were united by the symphony of the spheres, a melody that transcended time and space, carrying with it the hope of a brighter tomorrow. With their hearts attuned to the cosmic symphony, they dreamed of the worlds yet to be discovered, the stories yet to be told, and the infinite possibilities that awaited them among the stars. Part 6. The Chronicle of Celestial Tides. Days passed, each one a gentle unfolding of discovery and reflection. The crew of the stellar dawn had settled into the rhythm of Etheria, their days weaving between studying the archives and contemplating the implications of their findings. Yet within this newfound tranquility, A sense of anticipation lingered, a feeling that the sanctuary still held secrets waiting to be unveiled. One afternoon, as the artificial daylight painted the corridors in soft hues, Maren received a message from the Guardians, inviting the crew to a secluded alcove within the station. Curious and intrigued, they followed the guidance of their ethereal hosts, journeying deeper into the heart of Etheria. The alcove was a serene space, its air filled with the scent of gentle breezes and flowering trees. In its center stood a raised platform, the surface inlaid with celestial patterns that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the universe. As they approached, the Guardians explained, "This is the chronicle of celestial tides, a record of the ebb and flow of cosmic forces and the lives they touched. It is a living testament to the cycles of change and continuity." Maren felt the weight of the chronicle's significance. What can we learn from this chronicle? The Guardians gestured for them to step onto the platform. The chronicle reveals the tides of history, the currents of time that shape civilizations and destinies. It is a lens through which you might glimpse the interconnectedness of all things. As they stood upon the platform, the air shimmered around them, and the alcove transformed into a panorama of shifting images. They found themselves immersed in scenes from across the ages, moments of triumph and tragedy, innovation and transformation, all woven together in a cosmic tapestry. The chronicle revealed the rise and fall of empires, the creation of wonders, and the resilience of life amidst adversity. They witnessed the forging of alliances, the healing of conflicts, and the enduring quest for harmony among diverse peoples. Rafe, captivated by the intricate interplay of events, remarked, "It's like seeing the heartbeat of the universe, each beat a story of change and renewal." Amir, his gaze fixed on the images, added, "This perspective shows how every choice, every action, is a thread in the larger fabric of existence." The chronicle shifted, revealing a scene of a distant world enveloped in shadow, a world that had once thrived, but now lay dormant, its people dispersed among the stars. Tessa, moved by the imagery, whispered, "Even in darkness, there is potential for rebirth, for light to emerge anew." The Guardians, their presence a calming influence, spoke with a voice like softly rustling leaves. The chronicle reminds us that while tides may recede, they also return, bringing with them new beginnings. It is a cycle of creation and transformation. Maren felt a profound connection to the chronicle, an understanding that transcended words. We are part of this cycle, aren't we? Carrying the stories of those who came before, while forging our own paths. Indeed, the Guardians affirmed, as custodians of the chronicle, you have the opportunity to weave your own story into this tapestry, to contribute to the eternal dance of the cosmos. The images around them began to fade, and the alcove returned to its tranquil state. The crew stood in silence, each reflecting on the wisdom imparted by the chronicle. As they departed the alcove, a new resolve took root within them. The chronicle had shown them that their journey, while unique, was also part of a larger continuum, a reminder that their actions, however small, resonated across the cosmos. Later, aboard the Stellar Dawn, the crew gathered in the observation deck, the stars outside a blanket of shimmering possibilities. They spoke softly, their voices a gentle murmur beneath the backdrop of the universe. "We have a responsibility," Maren said, her eyes reflecting the starlight, "to ensure that the knowledge we've gained is shared, that it becomes a beacon for those who follow." Amir, his thoughts echoing her sentiment, added, "And to honor the cycles of the universe, embracing change while preserving the wisdom of the past." Rafe leaned back, a contented smile on his face. We've seen what can be achieved when we come together, when we build bridges instead of walls. Tessa, her gaze fixed on the horizon, concluded, and we carry the light of that understanding with us, wherever our journey leads. As the ship drifted through the cosmos, the crew of the Stellar Dawn felt a profound sense of peace, a certainty that they were part of something greater, bound by the tides of time and the infinite wonder of the universe. With Etheria as their guide and the Chronicle as their compass, they looked forward to the adventures yet to come. Their journey would continue, each step a note in the symphony, each choice a ripple in the tide, weaving a story of harmony and hope among the stars. Now, Part 7, The Celestial Garden. As the days turned into weeks, the crew of the Stellar Dawn found themselves increasingly attuned to the rhythm of Etheria. The station, with its vast archives and serene atmosphere, had become a haven for both personal reflection and communal exploration. Yet, despite the tranquility, there was an undercurrent of expectation, a sense that the sanctuary had yet more to reveal. One morning, as the artificial dawn cast a soft glow through the corridors, a guardian approached Maren with an invitation. There is a place within Etheria that nurtures the seeds of potential, a living repository of life's diversity. We invite you to visit the Celestial Garden. Intrigued, Maren and her crew followed the Guardian through the labyrinthine passageways, their path illuminated by gentle streams of light that seemed to pulse with the heartbeat of the station. The journey brought them to an expansive atrium, its ceiling a lattice of transparent panels that offered a view of the stars beyond. Within the atrium sprawled the Celestial Garden, a lush tapestry of flora and fauna from across the galaxy. Each plant and creature was a masterpiece of evolution, a testament to the adaptability and resilience of life. The air was rich with the scent of blossoms and the gentle hum of vibrant ecosystems. As the crew meandered through the garden, they marveled at the convergence of colors and textures, each element contributing to the harmonious symphony of life. Amir, ever the xenobiologist, approached a grove of bioluminescent trees, their branches swaying gently in an unseen breeze. These species, he observed with wonder, are like living archives, each one a record of adaptation and survival. At the heart of the garden lay a tranquil pond, its surface a mirror reflecting the celestial tapestry above. Around it, a family of creatures with iridescent plumage and graceful movements gathered, their melodic calls echoing softly through the air. Tessa, captivated by their elegance, whispered, "It's as if the garden is a microcosm of the galaxy, each organism a world unto itself, yet part of a larger tapestry." The guardian guided them to a secluded alcove within the garden, where a series of crystals formed a natural circle. "This is the nexus of renewal," the guardian explained. "Here, life and knowledge converge, nurturing the seeds of future potential." As they stepped into the circle, the crystals emitted a gentle glow, and the air shimmered with a sense of vitality and possibility. The crew felt a deep connection to the garden, an understanding that went beyond words. Rafe, his voice filled with quiet reverence, said, "This place, it feels alive, as if it holds the promise of what could be." Maren nodded, her heart swelling with a sense of purpose, a reminder that life in all its forms is a precious gift, one that we must cherish and protect. As they lingered in the nexus of renewal, the Guardian shared stories of the garden's origins. Long ago, the ancients gathered seeds and specimens from across their realm, preserving them here as a living testament to their dedication to life's diversity. The crew listened, enraptured by the tales of distant worlds and the beings that had once thrived upon them. Each story was a thread in the larger tapestry of the galaxy, a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. Later, as the sun set beyond the transparent latticework above, casting the garden in a warm golden hue, the crew gathered by the pond. The creatures that had earlier greeted them now nestled together, their feathers aglow with the fading light. In the tranquility of the moment, Maren reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The discoveries they had made, the lessons learned, and the responsibilities embraced. "We've been given a chance," she said, her voice a soft murmur beneath the celestial canopy. "A chance to ensure that the diversity and beauty of life endure, both here and beyond." Amir, his gaze still on the garden, added, "To honor the legacy of those who came before, and to nurture the seeds of potential for those who will follow." Tessa, her eyes alight with hope, whispered, "Together we can be stewards of this legacy, weaving a story of harmony and renewal among the stars." As they sat in peaceful camaraderie, the universe seemed to embrace them in its infinite expanse. The stars shimmered with silent promises, their light a beacon guiding the crew of the stellar dawn towards futures yet unwritten. With the celestial garden as their sanctuary and the lessons of Etheria as their guide, they knew that their journey was both a culmination and a beginning, a testament to the enduring spirit of exploration, discovery, and the unyielding quest for understanding. And so, lulled by the gentle hum of life and the whispers of the cosmos, they dreamed of new horizons, their hearts filled with the certainty that they were custodians of a brighter tomorrow, woven into the very fabric of the universe. Part 8, The Harmonium of Insight. As the stellar dawn continued its sojourn within the embrace of Etheria, a sense of enrichment imbued the crew's daily existence. The sanctuary had become a crucible of learning and introspection, where the boundaries of knowledge and imagination were continually expanded. One day, amidst their exploration, the Guardians extended an invitation to join them in a rare gathering, a convergence of wisdom known as the Harmonium of Insight. This confluence of thought and perspective was designed to illuminate paths forward, bridging past legacies with future aspirations. Curious and honored, the crew accepted, following their radiant hosts to a grand amphitheater carved into the very heart of Etheria. The amphitheater was a masterpiece of design, its tiered seating woven into the living rock and adorned with luminous vines that glowed with a soft, internal light. As they settled into their seats, representatives from diverse worlds across the network joined them. Some were ethereal beings like the Guardians, while others were corporeal, each bringing their unique experiences and perspectives to the gathering. A gentle hum signaled the beginning of the harmonium, and the air resonated with a symphony of harmonics, a musical tapestry that seemed to transcend the limitations of sound and perception. It was a melody that spoke to the inner essence of all who gathered, weaving their thoughts and emotions into a unified expression of enlightenment. The Guardians initiated the discourse, their presence serene and authoritative. In this harmonium, we seek to explore the essence of understanding, the ways in which knowledge and empathy illuminate the pathways of the cosmos. One by one, participants shared insights from their realms. A water-dwelling ambassador from a serene ocean world spoke of the intricate balance of ecosystems,
where even the smallest changes ripple through the fabric of life. A being of luminescent energy recounted their civilization's journey of self-discovery, highlighting the transformation that comes from within. As each perspective unfolded, a thread of interconnectedness emerged, a recognition that despite the diversity of experiences, there was a shared understanding, a common quest for harmony and growth. Amir, inspired by the dialogue, rose to speak. We too have embarked on a journey of discovery, learning from the legacies of those who came before us. Each revelation is a reminder of our place within the symphony of existence. His words resonated with the assembly, and a ripple of assent flowed through the amphitheater. The guardians acknowledged his contribution, their auras glowing with appreciation. Tessa, her voice imbued with a quiet strength, followed. The knowledge we have gained is a treasure, but the responsibility we carry to share and preserve it is profound. In unity, we can ensure that the light of understanding never dims. As the harmonium progressed, the air shimmered with a palpable sense of unity. Each contribution was a note in the symphony, creating a harmonious blend of voices that transcended individual limitations. Maren, reflecting on the insights shared, spoke with a sense of conviction. The harmonium reminds us that the future is a tapestry we weave together, a mosaic of dreams and aspirations, bound by the threads of wisdom and compassion. Rafe added, with a smile, and it is through these gatherings, these exchanges, that we refine the melody of our journey, ensuring it resonates across the stars. As the final strains of the harmonium's melody reverberated through the amphitheater, a sense of profound fulfillment settled over the participants. The gathering had been more than an exchange of ideas. It was a symphonic expression of unity, a celebration of the infinite possibilities that lay before them. Later, as the crew returned to the stellar dawn, the sense of harmony lingered.
They gathered on the observation deck, the stars outside a silent testament to the vastness of the universe. In the quiet of the moment, Maren reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. Each step a note in the symphony, each discovery a chord in the melody of understanding. "We are but one part of this cosmic symphony," she said softly. "Yet together, our voices create a powerful chorus, one that can inspire generations to come." Amir, Tessa, and Rafe nodded in agreement, their hearts full with the certainty that their journey had meaning and purpose beyond measure. As the stars twinkled in the infinite expanse, the crew of the stellar dawn embraced the journey ahead, their path illuminated by the harmonies of insight, the whispers of the cosmos, and the shared promise of a brighter tomorrow.